Keek on the mic, Keek on the mic. Keek on the mic, Keek on the mic. People, this the intro.
Talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down.
Bears fans, Chase Young to the Chicago Bears is starting to pick up major steam ahead of the NFL trade deadline. According to Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk, he revealed a prominent rumor going around that Chicago is deeply interested in Chase Young. He said this: last year at the trading deadline, the Bears gave up a second-round pick for Steelers receiver Chase Claypool. This year, the Bears could be chasing another Chase. Per a league source, there are rumors in league circles linking the Bears to Commanders pass rusher Chase Young. It seems odd on the surface since the two-win Bears hardly fit the profile of buyers, but this would be a long-term play for the Bears if it happens. The Bears, who have significant cap space in 2024, would want to acquire Young and keep him with a new contract. Bears fans, this is no surprise whatsoever. I've talked a lot about how Chase Young has been connected to the Chicago Bears dating back to last offseason, and the reports are already coming out by Adam Schefter that the Washington Commanders are actively shopping not only Montez Sweat and Chase Young. And I feel like this is the perfect opportunity for the Chicago Bears to get better on the defensive line. I feel like the defense is starting to pick up steam for the Chicago Bears, but we are still missing one more edge rusher on the other side of Unique Ngakwe. And I think if we add a guy like Chase Young, that would be huge for the Chicago Bears defensive line. And don't get me wrong, Bears fans, Chase Young would be a huge gamble for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears, but I feel like it would be a worthwhile gamble for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears at the same time. Obviously, I talked a lot about Chase Young's injury history that sidelined them for 2021 and most of 2022, but it seems like he is fully healed and he has had a very good season this year for the Washington Commanders defensive line. In 6 games, he has 5 sacks and is among the league leaders in pressures as well. This guy has consistently got after the quarterback, and it seems like he is ready to take over the NFL. To add to that, Bears fans, in the last month, Chase Young has had 25 pressures, 3 sacks, and 13 hurries, and that is something that the Chicago Bears have been missing on this defensive line. Obviously, when you look at Matt Eberflus's defense, he really likes the idea of winning with his front four, but that has been a struggle. So Matt Eberflus has had to be creative in sending different pressures with his safeties, with his linebackers in order to generate more pressure. But he would really like to win with his front four. And when you add a guy like Chase Young, this is a guy that can get after the quarterback. He can pressure the quarterback. He will get to the quarterback. It won't always lead to sacks, but right now, his sack production is also very good as well. Once again, he has 5 sacks in his first 6 games to start the year. And once again, if you add a guy like Chase Young and pair him with Unique Ngakwe, I think that would be something special here in Chicago. Overall, Bears fans, Ryan Poles dreams of adding pass rushers like Chase Young. He's a freakish athlete with a lot of athleticism and the exact build that Ryan Poles looks for when he's looking for edge rushers. And when you pair a guy like Chase Young, Unique Ngakwe, and DeMarcus Walker, that would be a very solid rotation for the Chicago Bears defensive line. And at the end of the day, the Chicago Bears just need to figure out a way to get more pressure on the quarterback. And Chase Young would be an immediate upgrade to do that for the Chicago Bears defensive line. He would come in from day one and be a very, very solid pass rusher here in Chicago. The question about adding Chase Young, and Mike Florio said this in the statement that I read at the beginning of this podcast. The Chicago Bears, if the rumors are true, they want to trade for Chase Young, but they also want to keep him and assign him to a long-term contract. What would a long-term contract for Chase Young look like? Obviously, in terms of compensation, the Washington Commanders are looking for a second-round pick. At this point, I think I would be okay with giving us up a second-round pick, knowing that we have 2 first-round picks, and if we do trade back for one of those first-round picks, we would probably get that second-round pick back. So at this point, I think I'll be okay giving up a second-round pick for Chase Young. But at the end of the day, just like Mike Florio said, not only do the Bears want to trade for Chase Young, they want to keep him long-term as well. I am not sure what a long-term contract would look like for edge rusher Chase Young. Obviously, he has had some injury history. He missed all 2021 and a little bit of 2022 with that knee injury. But just like I said, this season he has looked outstanding for the Washington Commanders. He looks like he is back to form, looking like the player that the Washington Commanders drafted out of Ohio State at number 2 overall a couple of drafts ago. So I'm not sure what a long-term contract would look like. Maybe he would be cheaper because he has that injury history. But if I had to guess, I think Chase Young would probably want in a range of 17, probably 19 million a year. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that. If you guys will be willing to pay Chase Young that number. To me, I think I would have him come. If we do trade for Chase Young, I would have him come to Chicago and prove that he can continue to play at that high level that we've been seeing in Washington for the first couple weeks of this NFL season. If he can do that, then I would probably be willing to take the risk and pay Chase Young that $17, $19 million a year. I think that would be a very good deal. Once again, Chase Young is only 24 years old. He fits what we are looking for in that rebuild. He would be one of the building blocks on the Chicago Bears defense. And I think when you see the production of Chase Young this year, you understand why the Washington Commanders drafted Chase Young with the number 2 overall pick. So if we can see that production, if we trade for Chase Young, we could see that production here in Chicago. I would have no problems extending Chase Young to that long-term deal. But overall, the rumors going around are definitely heating up on Chase Young to the Chicago Bears, which to me is absolutely no surprise. I would welcome Chase Young with open arms. I think he would make an immediate impact to the Chicago Bears defense, especially a Chicago Bears defense that has been playing very, very good football for the last couple of weeks. So I think that would just be an added benefit for the Bears defense to look even better moving forward. So I'm excited for the aspect of Chase Young being a Chicago Bear ahead of the NFL trade deadline. So Bears fans, before I let you guys go, let me ask you guys this. With this huge rumor of Chase Young to the Chicago Bears picking up more steam ahead of the NFL trade deadline, would you like the Chicago Bears and Ryan Poles to actually trade for Chase Young and make him a Chicago Bear? Let me know down below in the comment section. Before I let you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears that you know. Better than that, be back for all new Bears podcasts right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You've been listening to Geek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.